Well, I think, first of all, I agree with you. I've thought for some time that the notion that this data was private was regrettably an illusion. I don't say that because I welcome it. I just think it's an unpleasant fact. We got some really serious unanswered questions about Equifax's behavior in light of the fact that a patch was issued on March 6th. And they don't seem to have responded to that. But I think the legislation, the bills that I've seen so far, and it's very early in the drafting process, have been focused on things like notification and whatnot. And I think that's more of the same and isn't going to do much. I think people should focus on not just why the breach happened and Equifax's behavior, but on why the consequences of breach like this so bad. Why is it, for example, that somebody using my name can open a bank account in North Dakota where I've never been without talking to me?
Yeah.
I mean, why is it that it's so easy to steal people's identity based on the kind of information that's been stolen? I think if we begin to look at that end of it, that we might do more than simply focus on the cyber insecurity, although I'm happy to go into that if you want.
Well, Joel, it seems to me we're in an era now where credit monitoring, there are some services where you can get it for free if somebody opens up an account or tries to open up an account under your name and social security number, you get notified for it. But then if you need some remediation, you have to pay. And it seems to me if somebody robs me on the street and I call the cops in the physical world, I don't have to pay for remediation in that case, but in the digital world with our information we do. Does that need to change? Does something need to change around the options that consumers have and how much they have to pay to fix these problems with our information?
Well, the options that consumers have are much too narrow. And it would be interesting, for example, to wonder, I saw late yesterday a suggestion from someone at the American Enterprise Institute. Why isn't everybody's credit locked by default and then opened as an option? That would give consumers an enormous amount of power over this kind of thing. But I want to focus on the behavior of the institutions at which these fake accounts are being opened. Because that, I think, is where some really totally unacceptable behavior is taking place. And I go back to my example. Why is it that a bank will open an account in my name without ever talking to me, or wire out of my account all or most of the money in it, which is not a transaction in the normal course of business, without talking to me? And I think if you looked at the liability at that end, you'd do a lot more than continuing to focus only on credit options and on the cyber insecurity, because we're not going to be able to do as much about that as we would like.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.